Hey YouTube, a long and tiring day today. Just got done with a whole bunch of Diablo 2 and Flash Trash and stuff and thought that I'd make another one of these Q&A videos. So if you're new to this, and you want to ask me some questions for me to answer on camera like this, all you have to do is ask your question on the Facebook fan page at the link in the description. Millie's starting to be loud. One of my cats. Haven't gotten too many questions since the last one, so let me just get started. Armando asks, besides English, do you know any other languages? Which ones, and how skilled are you in them 1 to 10? 10 being best and 1 almost nothing. I only know English. Growing up in Canada, of course, we have 2 official languages. We have English and French. So I did learn mandatory French, however, none of it really stuck with me. I've never been good with learning multiple languages. So although I think that I'm quite good with English, I don't know any other languages. Just occasional little bits and pieces, words and phrases from different ones. You know, it's really hard to record things when I have Millie yowling. Sometimes you just lose a whole, half an hour recording because Millie starts yowling during it. She's a very needy cat. But this is a casual video, so I'll just let it go on. Connor asks, hey, I'm just starting out on YouTube as a Let's Player. I was wondering if you could give me some tips. Thanks. Also, I'm going to do Creepypasta readings. Do you have any tips for that? First tip, and surprisingly few people listen to this one. You have an animal or something yowling in the background. You have someone yelling really loud, something like that the microphone picks up. Scrap the episode and redo it. You can handle that extra 20 minutes for the sake of quality. I don't do it because this is a casual video. However, in your Let's Play, in your reading, fucking do that. A lot of people don't, and it's terrible. Second tip I would give is don't start Let's Plays. Oh man. I do it because I love it, but at the same time, everyone is terrible when they start, and honestly, we have too much of it here. Only start Let's Plays if you really, really like it, but even then, I'll give you the advice that I give to everyone and no one has listened to. Of all the people I've given it to, no one has ever listened to this advice. Record your first 3 Let's Play videos over the course of a few days. And edit it and everything, but don't upload it. Now, watch it. Watch each one of those episodes a few times. And don't make any compromises, be harsh on yourself. Is this any good? Would you watch this? Would you enjoy this? Is this good enough that you would give it a thumbs up? And if it passes that test, then you send it to a few friends, get them to watch it. What do they think? Tell them to be brutally honest. Only if both you and your friends say, this is something I would watch on YouTube, then upload it. And even after that, if you stick with the Let's Playing, after a year or something, when you go back and watch those first few Let's Play videos, they will be unwatchable to you. Because everyone's first stuff is bad, especially to themselves. I can't watch my original Let's Play videos, which is why I have it as unlisted and you can only watch it in the playlists. Because I don't want that to be someone's first impression of me. They suck. Second tip I can give you. Make no compromises on your video quality or audio quality. If your computer can't handle doing it, don't do it until your computer can. No one wants to watch crap. Absolutely never do a Let's Play on any kind of camcorder or by pointing a camera or webcam of any sort at a screen. It is terrible. And third, it's not hard to get a good microphone. There's a microphone called Logitech USB Desktop Mic, I think it's called. It's $30, maybe even less nowadays, and it's actually a pretty good microphone that I used for many years. It's the microphone I used leading up all the way until I got this $300 professional microphone here with my Blue Yeti Pro, which I have a pop filter on, and soon I'm buying a soundboard to put it through to make it sound even better, and then a better sound card. I go all out on this, but mind you, this is my job. As for tips for creepypasta readings, it's pretty hard, so just really stick with it. If a lot of people have different styles of doing creepypasta readings, but something to keep in mind is if you want to do a serious reading and analysis and not just like a jokey comedy thing, do not give your thoughts on the video during the story. Give your thoughts after. Because just don't interrupt the flow of things, you know? Leave the story completely intact unless you want to do like a kind of a comedy thing like Yuri of Wind, for instance, does. Then you can put it in there. So, I guess those are the tips that come to my mind off the top of my head. Lore asks, was high school easy for you? I'll break this into two categories. In terms of, like, socially, was it easy for me? And like, the classes, stuff like that, is that easy for me? Socially, it was on and off, really easy and really hard for me. Because I'm not happy with how I acted through a lot of high school. I think a lot of people look back at their high school career and they say, like, because, you know, you're still developing, your brain is still developing when you're in high school. Your brain is still developing until you're like 22 or something. So you're going to make a lot of decisions that you look back on. Even the next month you'll look back on and say, like, that was stupid. Why the hell did I do that? So even up until, like, graduation, I can think of things I was doing that I think is stupid now. So socially, a lot of regrets, although that's basically everyone. Got picked on a lot in grade 9, but as soon as I was done grade 9, I was out of the essential level program. See, our school had, the three main ones are essential, which gets you into workplace stuff after high school. There was essential, applied, which was, applied would be like college level, and then there was academic, which was university stuff, and that was for grade 9 and 10. Once you got to 11, 12, and the optional 13, which really just was, you can pick more grade 12 classes, it was the exact same system, but essential is renamed workplace, applied is renamed college, and academics are renamed university. Why they have these renames and didn't just call it the same thing for all the grades, I have no idea. But these are the different skill levels of classes. They teach you more or less advanced things. Below essential, they had the center, which is because my school was the center for severely mentally handicapped students, where they could go there. We had a specialized area for them that ranged from ones that just have, like, problems where they have a very hard time learning, to ones who they could not function on their own. They need constant assistance. And then above that is the IB program, which is the IB program is above university level, that is, where it's a specialized program for if you're very, very good at school that will guarantee you can get into whatever university or college you're choosing. That didn't matter a whole lot because it's way harder for no really real reward, because nowadays over here, if you did the university courses, you're getting into university. It's getting a job after that that's impossible. So, oh, sorry. Been having a lot of digestive tract problems recently. But, yeah, the job market over in the greater Toronto area over here in Hamilton, it's pretty bad, just like in most of the states, because this is the most populated area of Canada, is the greater Toronto area. The GTA. So, when I was in grade 9, I was in Essential, because I was disabled and they wanted to put me in the center, because every time I went to a new school, they would just read my IEP and say, oh, he's got cerebral palsy, and we didn't even know I had Ehlers-Danlos back then, but they're like, oh, he has cerebral palsy? Let's shove him with the other kids with cerebral palsy who are unable to, like, they can't get out of a wheelchair. And it's like, I'm clearly more capable of that, especially when you look at my grades all through school. They were quite high. They were very bad in mathematics and stuff, very good in Englishes and stuff, because we didn't know what the problem was back then, but we know now that I can't picture things in my head properly. So I've always had a hard time spelling off the top of my head or doing mathematics off the top of my head. If it's not something that's ingrained in me to the point that I just can verbally say the answer, then I'm going to have a hard time figuring it out. So you could just look at my marks or even talk to me for 10 minutes and know that I am not socially retarded. I am able to talk to you properly and articulate what I'm saying. I have no kind of mental process blocking me there. However, they just look at the IP and they say, okay, center. So basically, like, my mom and some of the people from the previous school had, like, petition, pretty much, and say, like, no, seriously, just give him a chance. He's, like, look at his marks and everything. He's clearly a high-level student. So they're like, okay, we'll try him out in Essential. So they put me in Essential for every one of my classes, which put me in, unfortunately, lumped me in with all the students that didn't give a shit about school at all. And they would pick on me a lot because they were just assholes. They were the kids with the waistline of their jeans around their knees who would constantly yell out, "Ballin'!" in the hallway, and I'm not fucking joking, they did this. I openly made fun of them for this because it was the dumbest shit. Ask Brandon, he was there. Oh god. He went to the same school as me? Some of those people were stupid. But these are mostly the people who don't care at all about school. Luckily, at the very beginning of grade 10, they're like, okay, he's clearly better in this. And they started bumping me up to academic level stuff. Mind you, I had to, in semester 1, retake English and math of grade 9 at a higher level to work my way up, because that's just how their class system worked. So I got fucked over because they decided to try me out on a level that was way too easy for me. So academically, a lot of it was far too easy for me, except for the higher level mathematics. To graduate with anything above a work class diploma, basically, the minimum requirement for mathematics is grade 11 college level math class passed, which would be a 50% or higher. I got exactly a 50% on grade 11 college level math. So I got the absolute least you could possibly get to pass with my ranking in the maths. But in the Englishes, I was getting like 80s in academic level, or university level that is, with grade 12. In fact, I liked the course so much, I took it twice. In grade 13, I took the course again to get an opportunity to do that with my favorite teacher. I also had Comtech, which in our school was filming and editing. I was huge into those classes. I even came in on my breaks often to help the new Comtech teacher learn the software and teach the students, because this is something I love to do. Comtech place was where I hung out on all my breaks, in fact. And, well, most of them. When I wasn't doing a LAN party in the cafeteria, where I'd be on my laptop playing Dawn of War, actually, LAN partying it with a few friends, like Brandon was there. And that was a lot of fun. We did that quite often. We actually bought a cheap, like, $20 router and just all plugged in cables to it so we'd have the best connection possible. But anyway, I'm rambling so much during this question. Took philosophy, loved that. I was great in the Englishes, terrible in the maths. Didn't take much sciences because that was more on the math side. Stuff like that. Anything that's, like, even subjective, I was good at. Whereas anything set in stone with, like, provable numbers, that's what I was bad at. So was high school easier for me? Socially, it was off and on really, really hard through really terrible relationships, getting bullied, stuff like that, which wore off very quickly when I started standing up for myself. Mostly because I'm a scary-looking dude. I had the long hair and everything. Like, it was like grade 8 when I just stopped cutting my hair. I haven't cut my hair since then. I haven't had, like, a cut or a trim, I don't think, since the grade 8 graduation. And, like, I had facial hair, and I had really long hair, and I wore my black leather jacket you can see back there. I think I've worn it on camera before. I wore that, and I was just a scary-looking dude, I guess. So I've always been friendly and goofy, but some people just didn't want to talk to me because of it. So I stopped getting bullied, and I finally got out of my terrible relationships. And then, yeah, high school was pretty good. Lots of ups and downs, but it was easy, I guess. I don't miss it at all, though. I'm not the kind of guy who likes school. That was a really long, rambling answer. Okay, Bob asks again. Bob asks, first of all, don't blame me for asking this. My friend challenged me. I do blame you, because it was your choice to ask it. Do you like chocolate chip cookies? If they're soft ones that are, like, homemade, I like those. I'm not really big on store-bought cookies. New, I think he meant now, but I'm pretty sure English isn't his first language, just judging by his name, and I think he's told me before he's Russian, but I could be wrong. New, a real question. Why Mah-Dry-Bread, the name? my friend Mike, back in grade 11, came up with that nickname for me, because my name, Mah-Dry-Bread, is very, very difficult. Most people can't figure it out. So I already had 1,000 nicknames at the time, and he just randomly is like, you need a new nickname. And I was like, Mike, I don't need new nickname. I have 1,000 nicknames. We kept walking down a hallway. I remember what hallway it was. It was me, Callum, who's been on the show once or twice, and Mike, and we're just walking down a hallway. He's silent for a second, and he was like, Mah-Dry-Bread. I was like, okay. I just resigned myself to it, and you know what? It caught on. I had some teachers who called me Mah-Dry-Bread, and from then on, a lot of the students that were my friends, at least, would just call me Mah-Dry. So, most people referred to me as Mah-Dry. My fiance is the only person who calls me my actual name. In fact, my parents and my close friends just call me Mo, because that's been my nickname since I was born. Oh, hard name. Give me a second. Edvinus? If I got that wrong, type it out phonetically in the comments for me. Why don't you make more videos about high school advice? But third question, and love your channel. I'm sad I can't donate you money. Sad face. That's okay if you can donate money. Not everyone can. Why don't you make more videos with high school advices? It's funny because when I started that series, I had way more advice in mind. But it isn't coming to mind for some reason. I've sat down so many times and just tried to think, like, what was it that I wanted to talk about? Because I had like 10 in mind. I really need to write these things down. As soon as I remember, I'm going to write them down and then make videos on them, because I really do want to do more of that, because I want to help people out. And then the next question by the same person was just question, Siri. Guessing third questions. Oh, third question. Yeah, just typo. Whatever. Yeah, just that's the answer. Joe asks, Joe, I recognize your name and your icon. This is a person who donates to me on Patreon, so thank you very much. If you don't know what Patreon is, click on the link to it in my description. It's where you can help support me. I'm asking another question, if that's okay. What kind of music do you enjoy listening to? I actually have a thread on the forum in the music section of anything else, where people can suggest songs to me to listen to. So if you want to suggest anything for me to listen to, go there. But what do I enjoy listening to? That's the thing with me is I have no specific genres that I tend to favor over others that I can think of. Like, I guess disco, funk, stuff like that tends to appeal to me more than, say, rap. But really, I follow individual songs more than I do genres or bands. Not entirely sure why that is. It's just, I don't know. Anytime I listen to a band, often it's got a lot of stuff I don't like and a few things I really, really like. Like Journey. Journey's like got a few, quite a lot of stuff that I'm not into, but it's got a few things I love. The Eagles. I hate Hotel California, but stuff like One of These Nights, that's awesome. And so is Business as Usual. That's from their new album. Two awesome songs. So what do I like listening to? Most of what I like is 80s stuff. Often 80s pop. But there's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. San Nolan White asks, you've been here fucking forever, man. What is your favorite band/singer? I don't have a favorite band/singer. I don't have a favorite, so I will cop out and give you my favorite song, which is Baby Come Back by Player. Weirdly enough, I don't think I've heard any other song by them, but it's my favorite song. Thomas asks, who was Phone? The fuck? This is Phone? I have no idea what you're asking. This is Phone. This is a Samsung case. It was $20. It was the cheapest smartphone they had when my old phone died, because I had a feature phone. This thing freezes on me constantly and is terrible. However, I'm quite poor and could only afford a $20 phone. It's very, very bad. Although Android is awesome, I've got some useful shit on this. You know how I play Payday 2 a lot, right? This thing has an application on it that is a calculator specifically for figuring out which engine you need on day 2 of the mission Big Oil. You just punch in, it says like, it has the hydrogen, the nitrogen, the whatever the chemicals are, you just click the chemical, you click the number it says on the monitor, and you click the number of hoses, and it tells you which engine it is, and where it is in the room. That's awesome. Android all the way. James asks, what other YouTubers do you watch, and would you consider doing any meet and greets? For what other YouTubers I watch a lot. I'm a big fan of Leg TV. And by proxy, of course, I'm a fan of both of their individual channels, that being Maximus Black and Nova War. Those are both awesome. Let me just check real quick to see if there's important text. Okay, just making sure it's not an emergency. Now I'm getting distracted. What's the question? Right, Nova War and Maximus Black and their channel they do together about mostly StarCraft 2 hilarity, which is Leg TV. I watch them. What I watch by far the most in my favorite channel is Far From Subtle TV, which is Far From Subtle on YouTube, or FFS TV. They do a show called Video Games Awesome, which is a play off their old show Awesome Video Games, where they would do like this, they put on this awesome, really well produced kind of almost parody, half really like a really early 90s TV show about video games. Is all wacky and crazy and it's really funny. But now they do Video Games Awesome, which is a live show they do all the time, one of the biggest ones on Twitch, where they dress up as the people in the game and they do full playthroughs of games and first looks at games and all kinds of great stuff. Great community. I'm part of the Turbo Club over there, if you know what that is. And yeah, they're fucking awesome. In fact, on monitor 2 right now, I wish I could show you, I'm actually rewatching through their playthrough of Deadly Premonition for the 5th time because it's one of my favorite ones for background noise. You know what? Do I feel safe moving this? I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering splendor. That's them right there. They're all dressed up like people from Deadly Premonition, one of my personal favorite games. You can see Ben in the back there as Sheriff George, which I think he makes an awesome Sheriff George. Would you ever consider doing a meet and greet? When you say meet and greet, do you mean like meeting with fans? Because I'd love to do that. The main problem is I can't really travel due to my disabilities. I especially can't travel unattended because not only am I very injury prone, of course, but I have no sense of direction and I can't drive or anything. So the only thing I've ever thought of is like Con Bravo is sometimes it's in Hamilton, like not far at all from where I am. Maybe I could go there sometime, meet up with fans if they were there. But again, like no one would come to visit me is the problem. I'm not nearly popular enough. So I'd love to do a meet and greet, even if like I just had some fans in this general area and they're like, hey, you want to go meet up somewhere? I'd be like, yeah, but not really. Doesn't look like it's going to happen until I'm much more popular. Elizabeth asks, do you particularly like Pokemon Creepypasta, or is that just what people send you the most of? That's just what people send me the most of. People constantly write Pokemon Creepypasta on my forum. It's not at all my favorite type of Creepypasta, for video games that is. It's not my least favorite either. I have no bias against or towards it, really. I'd like to see more of other things, but at the same time, Pokemon Creepypasta are the ones that get watched the most on my channel, so I guess I can't complain too much. On one side, I make a bit more money off them. On the other hand, I don't know, it gets a little boring. Every once in a while, you get a unique and cool story out of it, but so much Pokemon, I'd like to see more variety. So I don't particularly like it more than other kinds, it's just what people are writing for me. 2 questions left. Jonathan asks, hey bro, I got a question. What's your honest opinion on the Shield and Evolution, and what do you think WWE is going to do with their rivalry? Now, I think he actually also asked me this in an inbox message, and I responded, but I guess I'll respond on this too, so everyone can hear my answer. What's my honest opinion on the Shield? Shield are awesome. I love the Shield. Dean Ambrose is my favorite one. I've been watching both Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose since their indie circuit days. Didn't know Roman Reigns at all until he hit FCW, but considering he came up through the whole Samoan wrestling family, it's likely that he wasn't really on the indie circuit. My thought on Evolution, if we're talking modern Evolution, since they've come back together, I don't know, I kind of dig it. I was never that big on the original Evolution, but the thing I liked about it is that, like, no one could ever touch Triple H, and by the time they finally got to Triple H, it seemed like a big deal. It made you care a little bit more, especially because I haven't cared about Triple H since he was the blue blood Triple H. Like, at least it was funny to laugh at in the Attitude Era when he had the goofiest, shittiest gimmick ever. Hey, this is Triple H. I'm in the cockpit, and I got my hand on my joystick. It was the lamest shit. I cannot take the man seriously. Kane, you're a murderer. There was that whole vignette where he dressed up like Kane and pretended to fuck a corpse. Like, I cannot take the man seriously, and he's always just been... I don't know, I've never dug him that much as a wrestler. I never thought he was terribly interesting. But anyway, I'm rambling a lot. Modern Evolution, kind of digging it so far. I'm kind of digging it. I'm really liking how Batista's turning out. It's like, because I've never been a Batista fan, but he's really good at acting like kind of like a realistic Hollywood douchebag. I kind of dig it. Okay. Oh, and what do you think the WWE is going to do with their rivalry? I don't really know. I don't really have any strong opinions or thoughts on it right now. Last question. Jonathan asks, or no, Johan asks, do you know more than other people smart? Why do I care? I just internet. I could probably throw the int there, or perhaps the inet there. Okay. I know that the first sentence and I just internet are both references to Screenshot Warfare. I believe Dave LP Fun. I think it's Dave LP Fun references, but I could be wrong. Either way, I cannot answer that question because it did not make any sense. Just like how I couldn't respond to Dave LP Fun when I just internet. Everyone seems tougher between four walls. I think that was the quote. That's kind of an infamous one. But that's the last question. Wow, 309 people have seen this post according to the Facebook post thing that tells the admin how many views it has on it. That's pretty cool. So again, if you want to ask me any questions for me to answer on screen like this, then all you have to do is go to the description of this video, and the link to the Facebook fan page link where you just like type in your question is right there. Also, the Patreon account is linked in the description if you want to support me, and the playlist of all these Q&A videos so you can go back and see me answer all the other questions. So, until next time, have a nice day.